Welcome back to this week's episode of the Corde Snell Show. I'm the guy, Corde Snell. I'm back, y'all. Sorry for a little hiatus. One little trip, for my birthday and stuff like that. But I'm back. I'm here with my main co-host. What's up, Jared?
Hey, what's going on, Corde?
I'm doing good, man. Noah's not here today. He's not high. He's just at working.
He might still be high.
Okay, Corde. Yeah, I didn't want to say it. He might be behind still, but yeah. We back. Just got back from Phoenix. Got back from Phoenix, Arizona, and that was a cool trip. Well, it was cool, but it wasn't cool, if you get what I'm saying, because it was hot as hell out there in Phoenix, Arizona. I don't know why people move out there. It is ridiculously hot. The day I left, it was 113 degrees. I was like, nope. I am not staying here for this. I am not staying. I remember I looked it up and I was like, okay, I'm going to get on one of the first few flights out of here. I think one was at 6 a.m. I did make that, but I hurried up and got to like a 9:50 flight and got back to the Bay. I think it was like around like 1. Like I almost thought about like, hey, like you want to book and do like another podcast, like this update, because I'm not going to lie. I had like kind of a good but a shitty time at the same time, right? Because I got there, I was doing a World Series of Comedy out there, and main purpose of me going out there was always to network, meet new people, meet some of the similar people, and then just getting good with the clubs out there, because my family eventually wanted to move out there, but I think they're more hesitant now. I think they want to move somewhere else. So I was trying to just get in good with the area around there. Also, there's like 4 to 5 clubs, like all within 20 minutes of each other. Like every place that I was going to was 15 minutes away, which like seems far, but it actually is not too bad because there was like no traffic. So I was like, okay, cool. This place is 15 minutes. This place is 15 minutes. This place is 15 minutes. So I got out there, and when I was supposed to go, I left Wednesday. They moved me to the Friday show. So I was like, that's 2 extra days of networking. But then some said I should just change my flight to Friday because then that's less time out there, right? And I probably should have did it. Also, I remember another thing was like, okay, I'm gonna book my room for 5 days or the whole time I'm out there. And some said, nah, just book it for one night and then keep booking nights after that. Always go with your first instinct. I'm not gonna lie, because when I pulled up to my hotel, y'all, the La Quinta Inn on Townhouse Road, that shit was trash. Like, yo, when I say it's trash, I'm still trying to get my refund right now because it was one of the worst hotels I ever been at. It basically looks like it's called a hotel for a reason, because it was alcoholics, drunks. The place around it was terrible. It was disgusting. It looked like it was a bunch of people turning tricks out there. I was so disgusted. And then, so I'm currently working on my refund right now. But they was trying to tell me, they was like, oh, no, you in room, so you can't get your refund. I was like, I walked in that room. I saw it was bed bugs on the sheets. The lights wasn't working really. And I was like, oh, you got to hit this switch. And I look in the switch, they turned it on, and it was like barely lit. And I'm like, yo, I ain't. So I walked out immediately. Then when I was talking to like La Quinta Inn or like Priceline, whatever, their like headquarters, they said, oh, we can't give you a refund because he's in the room. And I was like, first off, he's lying because I didn't spend a night there. I went to like another La Quinta Inn, and I think that place had bed bugs too. But I was just like, oh my God. I was like, I should have just went to like a Hilton or something like that. So so when you travel for comedy, your hotel is most important because you spending most of your time there, because the show is until probably that evening, that night. So you want to be comfortable in this space. And that was the most uncomfortable space I had ever been in. Like, I'm just like, so imagine whatever hotel, whatever motel that's in your area, and you like, that, who stays there? That's what my place looked like. And I'm just like, what the hell? So yeah. So then, other than that, Phoenix was cool. It was good. I went to Stir Crazy Comedy Club. I did really well there on the show. Like I remember, I got like a quick little guest spot, and that was like a dope spot. And it's funny because you go to other different like places, and you still be like, all right, well, how do I match up with like people out here? And I'm just like confident in myself. And you see people, because it was like an open mic / show, but it was like 40 people in there in like a small compacted room. So it was like real good, right? So I did my thing up there, and dude was like, I'm so glad I put you up because you rocked it. So I'm like, hell yeah, man, hell yeah, let's keep in touch, kind of a thing. And I'm just like, so I really am putting in work out here, because I go see these other people, and you hear people telling stories, no punchline. You hear people like talking, not comedy. You hear people doing stuff, and you like, how long has this person been doing it? You know, kind of a thing. And it's just super funny. I just feel like, I'm really doing well. I'm really like kind of in my bag. I'm really like pursuing it heavily, and so like yeah. Then I did the World Series of Comedy at the House of Phoenix. I did in advance, so that's why I left Saturday morning. My show was Friday. I thought I did well. I did in advance to the finals on Saturday, which is always funny to me because the thing about me is right, very talkative. I laugh at my jokes, and I'm always penalized because I'm laughing at my jokes, which I really don't understand. They were like, "Oh, well, try to just sit in it, just don't laugh at it." And I'm just like, I get you, but that's also not like how I do it. Because I always feel like, people who like kind of tell a joke and just sit in it kind of like makes it more awkward. But then I'm like watching like other headliners and stuff like that. I'm like, they do just kind of sit in it, but then they do laugh at their stuff too. Like it's kind of because if you're having a good time, if you're making people laugh up there, I usually laugh because other people are laughing. Like it's like kind of contagious. So I'm not, but I've heard like if you laugh at your own jokes, people think it's fake. And I'm just like, all right. And the only thing I was upset about was the fact that the people who went before me really did like to okay. And then when I went up on stage, like I woke up everybody. Like woke up the whole crowd. Everybody did good after that. And like I feel like I should get credit for doing well. So it was like I did well also to like basically like a cold room. And that's like super hard. Like walk up and do well in front of a cold room or a room that hasn't been laughing for everybody. So I'm just like, that's neither here nor there. I mean, so the best part and the main objective of me going out there was that I met the GM again, and I got her business card. And I'm like, that's the only reason why I went out there. That was the main reason why I went out there to get that specifically. Now, I almost didn't make it to Friday because my hotel was so terrible. I wanted to leave. I was like in a huge funk. I remember the rental car that I was going to get, they didn't accept debit cards. So they canceled that. So I had to get like another rental car that was like way more expensive. Like it was like everything just wasn't working out. So I'm just like heading to Phoenix. It's super hot. And then like hotel looks terrible. I'm just like, yo, this is the worst right now. So I'm like, I was on the phone with my homie. I was like, I think I'm gonna leave. It was Thursday. I was like, I think I'm gonna leave. He's like, nah, you should stay. I was like, nah, I ain't trying to stay here, man. This shit whack. This shit is terrible. I don't want to be here right now. Like, I think one of the saving things was the fact that I was on the phone with people so long that I did this open mic because I was like, I was about to leave and try to go to some other hotel, but then I ended up winning $100 at the open mic. So that helped me. Like, okay, well, that's some luck. I got a little bit of money coming back for me from that kind of a thing. Hopefully I get this other refund. And so that helped out in a little bit. So yeah.
I think it's always weird when it comes to stand-up competitions, like how they're grading them, because I feel like some grade you on like the technique, like that, like laughing at your own joke would be considered like poor technique, I guess, because it's like you're not sitting in it like you'd see on Netflix. Mm-hmm. But if you were the one who got the most laughs, what does it matter? Because there's a lot of headliners that laugh at their own stuff.
Exactly.
And that's like part of what even Dave Chappelle laughs at his own stuff.
And then like use the mic and like, yeah. And I never want to compare myself to Dave Chappelle specifically because there's like, well, you're not Dave Chappelle. And I was like, I get that, but then it's always kind of a weird thing where it's kind of where I always feel like they want me to like fit a stereotype that's not me, or fit like you ever see Tom Segura? Be like Tom, but Tom laughs at his own stuff, or be like this other person. I'm just like, but that's not me, and it's a very different style that most black folks don't do, if you get what I'm saying. So it's always like for me, whenever somebody says stay a joke and just sit in it, I understand like don't rush through it, but like sit in it like so you can really mean it. And I'm just like, I do mean this stuff. Like, that's why I'm laughing. It was like, and it's funny because he's like, I just want to give a piece of advice. Like, I don't know, I haven't seen that often. Like, I know these guys, but just you laugh at your stuff. Like, I'm just like, it's funny. Like, I understand if I'm laughing and like no one's, and like I'm laughing. You ever see somebody bombing and they laughing at their stuff? And I'm just like, yeah, are they high? Kind of a thing. But if I'm laughing and the crowd's laughing at it, like that's usually what happens. I'll say a joke and I'm laughing at a crowd, especially like you have somebody funny in the crowd who's like has like a funny laugh. I'm like, bro, you having a good time, huh? They're like, yep, sure am. So yeah, but competitions are always weird, always hard to gauge and stuff like that. So I'm just like, should I keep doing the World Series of Comedy? Like, I don't know right now, but I think I'm gonna try to go in Vegas because that's like the main thing that everybody should go to, because it's like a lot of networking, a lot of comedy clubs, and then like people for like people for like industry people are there. So I'm gonna try to go to that, but it's always hard to go to that because it's during the school year. It's in September, and I'm just like, how I'm like, oh yeah, can I go to this thing for like 2 days, like in the middle of the week? So yeah, that's gonna be hard. But other than that, like Phoenix Heat 113. Like it was funny. Like somebody said it's gonna be 103 in Modesto today. And I'm just like, well, that ain't 113. Like, and I was like, that might be hot, but that's not 113 hot. And I'm just like, it's levels to this. Like, it's always funny when people come from like out of town or something like, and we'd be like, California, it's like, man, it's 90 degrees today. I'm dying over here. And then I like went to Arizona. I'm just like, not even close. This ain't even the same. This is 20 degrees hotter. This is crazy as hell. I was like, I don't understand why people live here, but I understand why people are always in their house. I understand why AC is mandatory out here, because without that, y'all could not survive, not live. It's only because I started getting used to the heat while I was out there too. So I came back out here and it was like 80. I'm just like, it's kind of cold. Like, kind of cold out here. I was like, I'm more used to this, but I'm like, it's windy. Oh, this is kind of a breeze. And it was like, so we're talking about 82 degrees. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not used to this, but I got used to it because in the daytime, it was like 102, 103, but it wasn't like scorching or like super humid, so it was like hot, but it was like kind of doable, you know. But then after a while, it was cause like I need some water. Like if you're not hydrated, it would be hard to deal with. And then nighttime, it was like 95, 96. So I'm just like, well, this is good at night, you know, versus like freezing, you know, that we're used to out here. But I was like, this is cool, but that's a lot. It's a lot. And then when it went 113, I was like, yep, no, I'm out of here. I ain't dealing with this. This is way too much. This California boy from the Bay ain't trying to deal with none of that. So yeah.
Well, and there's no wind in Arizona, right?
No wind. No wind.
There's nothing to even chill it out.
No, nothing even chill it out. And I'm just like I remember I said at a few open mics, I was like, there was no birds flying. I saw no birds. I saw no birds. I saw no birds flying the whole time I was out there. So I'm just like, yo, what is going on? This ain't it. This is something weird about this. There is something weird going on right here with the fact that it is this dang hot. I'm just like, wow.
I have a vivid memory of the Arizona heat. I've only been to Arizona once when I was 12.
Yeah. And
I remember like when I went into a Walmart and walked out of a Walmart and I felt like I got smacked in the face with heat.
Yeah.
Never felt that again in my life.
Yeah. It's always, because I remember we did a road trip from California to Dallas, Texas, like with my family. And I just remember like those stops, it was always that. It was just always like, it's like, what was it, a sauna? Like, what is, like, oh, God, like, what is this? So this is Arizona. And then like hotter, this is New Mexico. And then we finally, Texas, you are super hot. And then my grandpa was like, hey, he was like, Della, that's that Texas heat out here. And so we need to go back to Cali, like immediately. He was like, it's gonna take us 2 to 3 days to get back. And I'm like, why did we drive here? Why do we do this? So yeah.
It goes to show you why it's so expensive in California.
Huh?
It goes to show you why it's so expensive in California, because the weather is pretty fantastic.
It's pretty fantastic, or like, especially in LA, where it's like you don't have to deal with like extreme heat. I mean, there is like hot places, but you don't have to do extreme colds, stuff like that. Like that's why the Bay Area is so expensive too, because it's like we get rain, we get like winter and stuff, but it's not like snow. Like this is what it is. I used to Uber a ton, right? So I used to Uber back for like 3 years, and it was always funny because people will fly into SF and be wearing shorts and like t-shirts, and I'm like, what the hell? And I'm just like, why are you wearing that? Oh, I just flew in from Wisconsin. It's 20 degrees over there. I was like, oh, it's 60 over here. It's like, yeah, it's so hot. It's so warm. I love it. Flip-flops and sandal weather. And I was like, oh, and then it was like, oh, this weekend it's supposed to get down to 8 degrees. And I'm like, 8 degrees? It's like, yeah, so just got this, just wearing this. I was like, we don't know cold. We don't know real cold. Like my homie lives, I think he lives in Montana right now. It's a snowstorm. It was snowing in Montana. And I'm like, ain't this June? Like what's going on? Like we been getting a little clouds and it's been like windy, but they got real snow in June. And I'm like, Dad. He was like, yeah, it sucks. I was like, I bet it sucks. But yeah. Also, right before I went to Phoenix, it was my birthday. So yeah, shout out to me. I turned the cool age of 25. Heck yeah. Hey, there we go, baby. Yeah, there we go. I'm 25. Jared's 23, and Noah's 16. Oh, wow. Bunch of youngins out here. But yeah, no. So I love my birthday. I didn't really do too much for our birthday, and I feel like this might have tempered my my Phoenix trip because I didn't do a lot on my birthday. I was like doing laundry and stuff, and I was like, I'll just be cool. I'll be chilling. Cool, I'll be chilling. You know, I don't really need to do nothing. And I was like, and this year I told myself I was gonna take myself to breakfast. I might see a movie, and then I was gonna go to treat myself to dinner. I did none of that. I just like did laundry and watched TV all day and just like kind of like slept, which was cool too. But I was like, no, it's my birthday. I should have did something. And then I kind of leaked over into Phoenix, man. Phoenix not being well. I was like, this is what I told myself. I was like, well, I'm going to Phoenix tomorrow. I'm gonna have a good time out there. It's gonna be warm. It's gonna be hot. I'm gonna enjoy my time out there. Everything's gonna be cool. I got everything like I got my itinerary. I got all the different things. I'll be networking. I'll be going to different clubs. And then when I got out there, it wasn't the same. I felt like it just hampered like my birthday week, and I was like not a fan. I was like, man, and I was like, I should have did more on my birthday. It was, and so another story. The reason why there's only two holidays that I care about: Christmas and my birthday. I always say my birthday is a holiday. I feel like your birthday is like a special holiday for every individual person. Like, I always hate when people's like, oh, I don't really celebrate my birthday. I'm like, you better celebrate your birthday. Like, it is your time. It is your day. It's the one time you can be selfish. Like, that's all I always feel. And especially getting older, too, because me and my sister are a year and a week apart. So my mom used to always put our birthdays together. And as we got older, my mom was like, do you guys want to do something together? And we was like, no, I don't. Because, like, how you love the relationship I have with my sister. Like, my sister's very selfish. I'm not. But then I always feel like attention always gets shifted to her because she's the girl. And I'm like, it's my birthday, too. It's like, your birthday ain't till a few days ago. I'm like, well, your birthday passed. Because, like, my mom would always do it in between us. Like whatever weekend it fell on. Like, let's say if her birthday was on the 4th and it was, like, a Wednesday. My birthday is on the 11th, which is the next Wednesday. Whatever Saturday that weekend is, that's the day we're having our quote-unquote birthdays. It was like, your birthday, it's like, it is your birthday yet? I'm like, your birthday passed. We can't go back in time. So my birthday is still coming, okay? All right? You're like, your day was Wednesday, all right? Mine is this upcoming. So yeah, we can't go back in the past. We have to look forward to the future, all right? Just a lot of negative stuff. And my mom was like, why can't y'all get along? I was like, we always having this together and stuff. So yeah, she's like, well, I'm not trying to do two parties. And I'm like, ugh. So yeah. So because of that, and then also there was... The one time I still remember this vividly, and I always try to take myself out or do something well for my birthday, because there was one time my two cousins stood me up on my birthday. It was like in high school. I was at the bus stop. I remember it vividly because I remember I was sad as hell, and I was still mad as hell, and I still remember this to this day. I was at the bus stop, got out of school. It was like June 11th, so I think it was like last day of school or something. I was like, cool. I'm going to go catch the bus to Hilltop at the time, and I'm going to go to the movies. I'm going to see two movies, and I'm going to treat myself to the movies. I got enough money. I can buy myself popcorn. I can buy myself candy. I can do whatever. I was like, I might buy myself a video game because GameStop up there. I was like, it's going to be just a good day. I just want to see it. I'm going to think, it's going to be cool. It's me, myself. I don't know what everybody else doing, but I know I'm going to treat myself. My auntie seen me at the bus stop. What you doing? No, your cousin's about to go to the movies too. Where you going? Go home. They gonna call you, and then they gonna meet you, and then y'all all go together. Y'all gonna all go together, and they can treat you to your birthday. It's 3 p.m. when I see my auntie. Right? 3 p.m. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8:59. My auntie calls me, and she's like, Corde, what you doing here? And I was like, huh? What you mean? She's like, I said, I went on my cousins. I was like, I called them a few times too, texted them, nothing. I called one cousin 3 or 4 times, called another one 3 or 4 times, nothing. Text them, nothing. It's like, I just dropped your cousins off at the movie theater. They didn't call you? No. They ain't called me at all. They ain't. It's like, you want me to come pick you up? What time the movie started? Oh, the movie started at 8:45. Well, it's 9 right now, so by the time you come pick me up and take me back up there, it'll be 9:15, 9:30, and then the movie gonna start. What movie they go see? Garfield. Yeah, that's the movie I wanted to see. So, sad as hell. Then my mom and dad come home, I think 9:45. Like, Corde, you were supposed to go to the movies, what happened? Well, my auntie said my cousin was supposed to go, and then I was supposed to go with them, so I've been waiting and kind of find out they're at the movies right now. My mom was like, well, I would take you right now. I was like, last movie started at 9:30, so it's like, dang, they did this on your birthday? I was like, on my birthday. And that sticks with me. Like that sticks with me to this day. I remember my exact moment because it's high school. It's my birthday of all days. You can flake on me any other day, but on my birthday, like that shit was. And I remember they was like, I remember I brought it up to them. They was like, no, we didn't do that. I was like, yes, y'all did. Both y'all stood me up on my birthday. Like we didn't stood. I was like, y'all both stood me up on my birthday. This ain't cool. I never stood y'all up on your birthday. And I think my cousin was like, oh, I think her birthday came. I didn't go to hers. I didn't go to neither one. My mom was like, you shouldn't be like. I was like, no. They won't stood me up on my birthday. I think my mom dragged me to their birthdays. I didn't talk to neither one of them because I'm like, one is in July, the other one's is in October. It was like, don't be like that. Why you holding a grudge? I was like, because they stood me up on my birthday. And I think my auntie, because of my cousin's birthday in October, she's like, you still holding on to that? I was like, wouldn't you hold on to somebody standing you up on your birthday? Both of y'all said y'all was going to come and then both of y'all go to the movies to see the exact movie you wanted to see. And I'm supposed to be here like it's cool when nobody apologized to me? No, I ain't trying to be here. I didn't want to come. My mom made me come here, all right? I don't want to be here, all right? Now we're going to have fun, whatever, all right? Shoot.
Dude, that's crazy. I wouldn't have let somebody derail my plans.
Yeah.
I'd be like, that's great. They can just meet me there. I'm going at this time.
Yeah. It was super weird because I'm like, my auntie said she was going to drive us there. So that was the weirdest thing. Also, my auntie lived around the corner from us. So I didn't understand how she dropped them off, but then pick me up. Like Jared basically lived like across the street. Not directly across the street, but she lives here and then you go up and then right here. Like it's probably 2-minute drive at most. The only thing stopping you is a stop sign. I'm like, how you drive them all the way up there? And then like for real, and that's what I learned. Never let somebody else derail your plans. That's why a lot of times now, one of my homies always gets mad at me because I go to the movies without him. And a lot of times I go to the movies like very last minute. Like let's say like right now, I don't know, probably say it's like 11:30 right now, right? Let's say the movie started at 11:25, or let's say it started at 11:45, right? Sometimes I go last minute. By the time I get dressed, it's 11:40. Okay, the movie starts at 11:45. I can leave from my house right now and go to it. My homie be like, "What you doing?" I'm about to go to the movies. Oh, wait on me. Hate waiting on him because by the time he's ready to go, he be like, "Can we just see like the 12:31?" I'm not gonna make that one. Can we see the 1:15 one, right? And then 1:15 come. Sorry, man, I'm not gonna be able to make it. That just takes me all the way back to that time at my birthday, and I'd be like, nah. And he gets mad at me all the time, and he'd be like, why you always going to the movies without me? I'm like, because you do this shit. I was like, I made a decision last minute to go to the movies by myself. I'm not gonna wait on you, and I got tired of waiting on people too. Like I remember after that, after that time, my birthday, I used to catch the movies. I used to bust to the movies all the time by myself. Like most people think it's weird. Like you going to the movies by yourself? Yep. Why? Because it's my time. I'm going to have a good time. I'm not going to be waiting on nobody else. I'm going to have a good time. I'm going to get away for like 2 to 3 hours. It's be cool. I'm going to do a little adventure. Then might sneak into another movie. And then I don't want to be, you over here. What are we doing? We got to go out here. Like, so another time, another best friend of mine, stupid, being hella loud. I was like, what we doing? About to go sneak in this movie. Oh, we can't do that. Yes, we can. Don't shut up. Just follow me, right? So I'm just like looking, chilling. We sitting down for a little minute, and then get up, and I see the security like walk that way, right? Walks away. Then we get up and say, cool, let's walk in the movie theater. And he was like, what are we doing? Why are we going into this movie theater? We're not supposed to be in here. Go in the movie theater, and then security like walks back and like sees us walk in, and he comes again. He was like, hey, you guys can be up. Just walked out. And he was like, what the fuck are you doing, man? Why you what was that? Why we get caught? He's like, see, I told you that wouldn't work. We got caught. I was like, no, we got caught because of you being hella loud. Idiot. Shut up. Just follow my stakes. You can't be doing that. I do this all the time. He was like, what would your mom think? My mom taught me how to sneak in. She was the main person who taught me how to sneak into movie theaters. She would always tell us to shut up, follow me, don't say nothing. We ain't gonna get caught. All right? Like, it is so funny. People always say that. What would your mom think of you sneaking in the movie? She would ask me, was it good? Should I go see it? Like, it'd be like, I taught you well. that's all.
What would your mom say about showing up places 3 hours late all the time?
Exactly. Like Kanye West. Oh, class started 3 hours ago. Oh, am I late? Yes, bitch. Like, what are you talking about? Like, what would your mom think of you saying I'm gonna go with you at 12:15 and you push it back an hour and a half and you just say no, I can't go. Now I'm mad because the original movie I was gonna see is over now. Now I don't want to go to the movies because I got a sour taste in my mouth because you over here flaking on people last minute, and now my whole day ruined because like I want to see the movie, but then I don't. I'm kind of tired now, so I don't want to go to the movies and fall asleep. So now I got to figure out, okay, well maybe I'm gonna go at 3, and like then it'd be the worst when somebody walk in your room. I thought just going to the movies. I was. What happened? Then my mom just got, your cousin flaked on you again? I remember she said this for like years. She was like, I thought you were going to movies. Your cousin flaked on you again? I got to call him. I'm like, no, it wasn't them. Your friends flaked on you? And then my mom just started encouraging me, go by yourself. Stop waiting on people. Go by yourself. Because when you go by yourself, she's like, you can only disappoint yourself. But you be a lot less mad at yourself because whatever didn't work out than somebody else waste your time and then let you go out. And I'm like, yeah, so I go to the movies. I'll probably go to the movies today. I want to see Mad Max Furiosa. I want to see I saw Bad Boys 4 way back when in March. It just came out in June. I saw Bad Boys 4 in March. Yeah, I got a free secret screening, but I couldn't say nothing for months. Like, cause you know how we had to sign like 2 embargoes, like 2 things. We had to sign one online. They had to sign one in person. And it was like, hey, don't say anything about this. Also, the movie wasn't finished, too. It was like a few CGI things in it. And it was funny to see. Like, it was so funny to see, like, an unfinished movie where they use CGI in. And it was like, you actually use CGI in this thing? But it's like just small little things and small little scenes. But it was hella funny. It was like, oh, this shit ain't unfinished. Like, kind of a little thing. But the movie was still hella good. Like, I was super, like, I laughed so damn hard. Like, I rank Bad Boys 4 second on, like, out of the 4 movies. Like, number 1 is Bad Boys 2, number 2 is Bad Boys 4, number 3 is the original Bad Boys, and the last one is Bad Boys 3. I forget what that was called. Like, I was like, whatever. But Bad Boys 4 is hilarious. You should go see it. But I want to see Mad Max Furiosa. I kind of want to see Inside Out again. Do you see that?
I've seen the first one. I haven't seen the second one yet.
Oh man, dude, Inside Out 2 is like so. Do you want to see it?
I'll check it out.
Okay. Do you mind spoilers?
I don't care about spoilers.
Okay. Real quick, I care a fuck ton about spoilers. All right. I'll tell it in a bit, but the second one isn't as good as the first one. But because the first one, I remember like, damn, it was tearing up in that movie, right? Like if I rated the first one is like a 98, 99. The second one's like an 89. Still good, not as great. Like it's like really good movie. But the first one, like, moved you kind of a thing. So it's still good. And it made me really think about stuff, right? Like the new thing about it is about like trees and branches, right? It's like, you know how like all these different things like makes up Riley and stuff like that. Like that's the character's name. Now it's all those things or those memories they have now comes into a branch and it makes like a whole branch of things like goes in like this pool. And like that makes up the overall person of who this person, like I'm a good person. I love my friends. I care about my family. I'm goofy, like and stuff like that. Like all these like good memories, right? So new parts of it is like this is new emotions, anxiety. This is one like sarcasm, envy, and then embarrassment is like the 4 that comes with like puberty, right? So anxiety tears off the tree branch that makes up Riley to come up with a new one because they're going to high school, right? And it then starts to think of where she finds out her friends who she's been best friends with for like the last 5 or 6 years are leaving. Now it's like I have to make new friends with these people in high school because if I don't make friends with people in high school, I won't be popular. I'll be seen as weird. So then it starts to say like a changing of emotions of where this is who I used to be. Now I have to become this new thing to be part of like this hockey team, to be part of like with the cool girls and all those type of things. It's kind of like if Mean Girls and Inside Out like mixed, but like on a different level, like freshman wise versus like when, right? So it was like super dope. And it got me thinking, I'm like, oh shit, what was my tree heading into like high school? Because I started thinking about it, I was like, well, I was funny, but like scared I was like embarrassment hit me like long way before it hit her. Like I was funny, but like timid, like nice but shy. Like I remember I had a girl from the 8th grade. I didn't want people to like see me hugging her. Like that was like super embarrassing to me. Like I remember like hey, how we doing? Hey buddy. Like I was super shy. And it took one of my best friends to tell me, he was like, man, you be talking about all these girls you like. Go out there, say something to them. Go say hi. Go like make moves. Go, kind of a thing. And so I'm like, dang, I really started changing like really my sophomore year into kind of like Corde, who you see me now. But before that, like we always talk about dating on like this on this podcast, right? Back in like the high school days, I would always talk about a girl who I almost talked to. I would have these long, drawn out, dope stories, and they'd be like, "You talk to her?" I'm like, "No." He's like, "Oh man, you told me this story. You didn't talk to her?" Nah, but I could have. But I could have. My mom was like, "Hey, don't tell me a story ever again if you didn't talk to the female." I'm like, he was like, "Cause this is pointless. You hear this great, amazing story. You led me to all this build up, and then you didn't talk to the female." So yeah, but we made eye contact and we like really was vibing like from a distance. I felt like we was like one, like together. Like we came to like her eyes met my eyes, and then we was like looking through each other's eyes, and then we like went down and like we touched each other's souls. I felt like this whole connection that we had together of like how great we could have been, like all the dates we could have went on. We could have been boyfriend and girlfriend, maybe even eventually getting married, and then eventually have kids and stuff. And then like this long, loving relationships that I would want. Same thing that my parents have and stuff like that. And my homie be like, "So you talked to her, right?" "Oh, no, I didn't. I just kind of waved awkwardly and like turned around and didn't say nothing to her." They'd be like, "What the fuck? All that? All that for nothing?" So, yeah. And it's a great movie. Inside Out's a great movie. It's so I highly recommend you go see it. So I talked to you about how I hate spoilers. Like I hate anything, right? I get it from my dad. My dad never wants to hear nothing. Because usually when people tell you about the movie, they always tell you the ending. I don't know why it is. It was, "Oh, the movie was so good. Let me tell you about this one part." And then it was always the ending. I don't know why people do this, but it's always like, because I feel like that's the triumph, the best part. So they always tell you the ending. So my dad be like, "Don't tell me about the movie because you won't tell me the ending." Right? And then I used to do it all the time. I was like, "Well, yeah, because that's the best part. The ending is the best part. So I want to tell you the ending." He's like, "Yeah, but you just ruined the whole movie for me." So then I stopped doing that. But then my sister used to always tell me the ending as well for movies, and I hated that. Then my sister started doing this thing where she would tell me a part of the movie that wasn't the ending, but it was the scene right before the ending. So if the movie's like 2 hours and 45 minutes, she would tell you the part at 2 hours and 35 minutes. And I'm like watching the movie. I'm like, this movie good. This movie hella good. I don't even know what the hell my sister talking about. She was talking about this one part, and I was like, what? Now it's over? I'm like, yo. So after I'd be like, don't tell me nothing. Matter of fact, I almost had a friendship end literally because somebody tagged me in the spoilers of Endgame. I was like, "Hey, this is not a test. Do not send me any spoilers of Avengers Endgame," because I'm in like several different Facebook groups, right? And they on the East Coast, so they see movies like at 7, but it's like 4 p.m. our time, right? And I was like, "Don't send me any spoilers of Endgame. I'm watching NFL draft, and when I go see tickets, it's at 7 p.m. Don't tag me, don't send me nothing," right? This mofo, I say, "You will be blocked. This is not a test." This mofo tags me, and not only does he tag me in the ending, he tells me everybody who dies in Endgame. So only person, luckily I didn't read the whole thing. He tagged me. I was like, "Oh, somebody tagged me." I'm like, "Oh, what's it say?" Like, Corde, Black Widow. I was like, "What the mother?" So in Endgame, when Black Widow dies, it was so back and forth when she finally did it. Like everybody was shocked. Everybody was amazed. I was like, "Motherfucker." They was like, "I know, right?" Her emotion. I was like, "No, this bitch ass motherfucker tagged me in this shit," right? So and luckily I barely just read the top of it, but I was super mad that he even did. So Black Widow dies. Then he said Tony Stark dies. He said this person dies. He's like, they beat, like, he gave me analysis of everything. And I was like, you know how mad I would have been if I found out Tony Stark dies in Endgame? That was like the synopsis of the movie. That was the best part. Like I am Iron Man, and they beat Thanos. I was like, you really? blocked him. I ain't talked to him since. Well, I think I talked to him like a year ago, but I blocked him. So I hate spoilers. I don't want to know. Well, I kind of no. I want to go in cold. I don't want you to fake nothing. I don't want. That's why eventually I really hope I like become like a reviewer of like movies and stuff. Well, I really want to be in movies, but I just want to like have early access to movies. Like, oh, it's on the red carpet. I got to see it like early, like kind of a screening kind of a thing, because I hate spoilers. I always want to see like, okay, movie come out Friday, or like sometimes you see it Thursday night. I want to see that Tuesday. They'd be like just sitting on it, like what y'all think? What y'all think? Like I think it was pretty dope. So yeah. What about you? What about you when it comes to movies? I feel like you're about to say something.
Oh, I was gonna say I don't care for spoilers only because I'm pretty good at figuring out where the movie's gonna go as soon as it starts.
Yeah.
So very rarely am I caught off guard by what happens in the movie. So it's even if someone tells me what happens at the end, I'm more interested in seeing how they get there.
Yeah.
So like you can come and be like, yeah, Tony Stark's gonna die, which I would argue you should know from watching the first Avengers because he almost died in the first one.
Yeah.
Tony's whole arc is that he's the most selfish guy in the world.
Yeah.
So how does he finish that arc?
Yeah.
He does something completely selfless.
Yeah.
Which he almost does, right? He almost dies at the end of Avengers. He proves that he is capable of giving himself up. And that's why he has so much anxiety in 2 and 3, because then he becomes obsessed with, oh my gosh, like this is all on me. Yeah, I got Cap, I got Hulk, but no one gets it like I do.
Yeah.
We gotta have a suit around the world. We gotta do this stuff. So it's like, obviously at the end, he's not gonna just be chilling with his daughter. Like they have to get that last thing.
Yeah.
You need to have something to be really like, okay, now I'm willing to give it all up because now I have Morgan to care about. And so I just get really weird about that stuff. So spoilers for me, I'm like, yeah, whatever. Tell me.
See, for me, I'm like, Tony is too selfish to die for everybody else. That's how I see this. Because also, the one thing I hate about the movie Civil War and Tony like getting hella mad, and that's why he wanted to sign like the whatever thing,
Soviet Accord.
Soviet Accord, right? I'm like, bitch, you created Ultron. That was like the one plot that I hated. They never like said like when him and like Chris Evans or like Captain America are fighting. Like nobody said, Tony. He was like, we need to be in check. He's like, remember, I want to put a suit of armor around the world, right? And I'm like, yeah, but you created Ultron. You're the reason why Sokovia happened.
Well, that's exactly why he's on the other side during Civil War. Because of what happened with Ultron, he goes, yeah, maybe I don't have the right thoughts here. Maybe someone else needs to step in. And if you look at Steve Rogers' whole arc is he trusted the government up until 2, and then they betrayed him. So that's why by the time Civil War comes, he's very right wing about it. No government. You got to be there. And then Tony becomes super democratic of like, I always think I know what's right and I can't do it. And so I like that was one of the best. That one to me was actually the best one in the whole series.
I think it was too. Like to me, I'll call it. Most people call it Captain America Civil War. I call it Avengers 2.5.
Right.
Because Ultron, I feel like, was a huge letdown to me. Because Ultron was just a setup movie for everything else. Like Thor has to take this random bath that sets up Ragnarok. Tony and Cap are fighting, so that sets up Civil War. We have to go randomly to Wakanda, that sets up Black Panther. Instead of like a culmination up to Avengers 2, it was Avengers 2 was going to be like all of Phase 3, like boom, 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 like all these spider webs. And I'm like, that's not what the Avengers movie was for. That's not how they did everything. So that's why I feel like Ultron is like one of the worst. Like Ultron and Thor: The Dark World are like 2 of the worst movies, right? But it's funny now because they're retconning those 2 movies to say like, oh no, this is like very pivotal. These were, if it wasn't for this movie, it would have set up this. And I'm just like, y'all doing this because y'all know this movie was whack. Like that's why that's why y'all doing it. Cause I'm like, but
I didn't watch any of the Thor movies after Endgame. They looked bad just from the trailers.
Like Love and Thunder?
Yeah, I didn't see that one. I didn't see Dark World. Oh, Dark World's at number 2?
That's number 2, yeah.
Oh, I might have seen that
Ragnarok, right? Yeah, because like after
Ragnarok was all right.
Ragnarok was
but
the best
again,
one.
like that's another one that if you paid attention in history class, you should know exactly how that ends because that's a real religious event.
Yes, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yes, I don't know about like Greek mythology and stuff like that. It's like Thor, like, I'm just like, oh, this is dope. Like hella, like, all right. Like sometimes you don't want the villain to win. Mm-hmm. Like the dude who was helping like hella, I would have right there. I would have shot all them people. Like I'm like, I would have been team hella. I would have died. I would have not have like turned on like all right, Thor, whatever. Like I would have been team hella. Like there's like very few times I fought for like a very sexy, attractive, but hella when she was sitting on the throne, the ass poking out, and I was like, whew, like all my humanities would have went way out the window. Like it's like, how can you kill these people? I was like, do you see her? Do you see her? Do you see how amazing this woman is? Like, we've been tricked, all right? We've been tricked. You know, we thought Asgard was some great place and stuff like that. We've always been killed. That's why we rich, all right? She's right. My beautiful Hela. Like,
you said you play video games?
Yeah.
Did you ever play God of War?
Yeah, I did.
The new two, like the new ones with him as a dad?
No, I never played those. I was still trying to. I finished God of War 1 and I was like midway through God of War 2. But yeah, I was like.
I'd recommend the new ones because they follow the myth of Ragnarok too. Like,
okay, really?
It's God, I don't know what the first one's called, but it's two-parter.
Yeah.
Kratos has a son now.
Yeah.
And the second one's Ragnarok, so it follows the same thing. Okay, cool. And again, I won't spoil it, but it takes the myth and flips it on his head, where you're like, oh, this is a really fun, interesting take on this. Yeah. Where like you'd know it now because you've watched the Marvel version. Yeah. They follow all the same plot lines. Like, you know what's gonna happen to those people, but a lot cooler execution, I thought, and the twist is really good. It's like, oh, this was sitting under my nose the whole time.
So it's funny because like that's dope, but I feel like Thor: Love and Thunder, the fourth one, could have been a lot better. They cut out a lot of stuff. Like, I know, like initially Taika Waititi, Thor Ragnarok, which is the best Thor. Initially he wanted to be like an hour and 49 minutes, but it was like an hour. It was 2 hours and like 15 or 2 hours 20 minutes, whatever. And that made the movie a lot better and a lot great. And I felt like he did the cut that he wanted to from Ragnarok with Love and Thunder, because I felt like Love and Thunder could have been a lot darker than what it was. Like, it was like one scene where Christian Bale was amazing as a villain in that. And the reason why he was a villain, because his gods didn't care the fact that his daughter's dying or like starving, stuff like that. It was like, oh, you died? Oh, okay. And then like he went up, gets like this evil sword and cuts him down. Made a ton of sense. Like, oh yeah, these gods don't care about us. They want us. He's like, we don't care about your soul dying. You'll love us and still worship us anyway. And he was like, what? And so he's trying to go out and kill all gods. And it was like this super dark moment where he was like with these kids. And I'm just like, this could have been an actual like super dark turn that we haven't got in any Marvel movies. Like, they wanted Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness, to be like a super scary movie. And it kind of was. They like took Carrie aspect of it and stuff. But it was still just like, oh, this chick is amazing. If they would have went full on instead of Love and Thunder and went like the darkness of what Christian Bale was doing, I feel like that would have been their first like super scary movie, because it was like all of a sudden there's like this group of kids, stuff like that. He just pops up and he's just like there, and I'm like, what the hell is this? Everything's dark and it's like black and white, and I'm just like, yo. And I feel like they should have went more in that aspect, and then that would have became their first horror film. But you can't go horror when the title is called Love and Thunder. I would have switched to like Love and Darkness, and then like just lean more on the darkness kind of a part, because and then I was mad they killed Natalie Portman in that. Like, like it was. I'm like, damn, you killed her. Like, she was like, we finally got the female Thor that you like, her who dated Winter Soldier, Captain Falcon. Yeah, that's what they call it. No, something like that. Captain America, Winter Falcon. Yeah, Captain Falcon is like N64 game. So yeah, that's
right.
I was like, nah.
Falco Punch.
Yeah. So yeah, but that's a super dope one, and yeah, like that's why love movies, love going to them by myself. Yeah, so
nobody liked the second Doctor Strange movie because it was so dark, though. And I won't say nobody, that'd be dramatic, but like, I thought it was awesome. Yeah, it was made by Sam Raimi, who did the original Spider-Mans with Tobey Maguire. Great. I liked it. I thought there were parts of it I was like, this is dark. This is kind of scary. And then you got to remember Disney has to appeal to children. Yeah. And it was like, it's unfortunate, because I thought it was a great film, and it went down. I think it's pretty low scores. Yeah. When it comes to like Rotten Tomatoes and stuff, people are like, I wasn't a fan of this one.
I think it's still pretty good. The problem was they said this was going to be the first scary movie that we have in the Marvels, and then it wasn't as scary as it was, because you said they still have to appeal to children. I felt maybe they should have got Tim Burton to make that one, because then he goes full on dark. Like Batman Returns just, I think, came out earlier this week, and it was like I think like the 30-year anniversary or whatever. Cause like, I didn't. 32-year anniversary or something like that. That's a very dark Batman film, and I felt like that's what they should have went with the Doctor Strange, because they wanted to be dark. And I feel like it wasn't dark enough, but it was like dope. like the different multiverse of madness, like when she kills Professor Xavier, like I was like, oh shit, like oh dang, right?
When she completely obliterates the Illuminati, that was awesome.
Yeah,
that was so cool.
Amazing.
Yeah,
we needed more stuff like that. Of where that's what they should have did. They should have went with her killing more. That's what they.
It's like John Wick, but Marvel.
Yeah, exactly. Going like and then he keeps like, damn. They should have had her keep jumping to different universes, and just like killing everybody to get to where her kids are, and then it would have been like, oh, we gotta kill her. Like then it would have been instead of like, cause she killed the Illuminati. Dope. And I like the fact we got Reed Richards, the one we wanted. Yeah. And I'm like, oh my John Krasinski, you look amazing as Reed Richards, dude. And that's not the one we getting. But I was like,
that was dope. Great. It was a great bait and switch.
And Black Bolt, it was like Black Bolt can kill you with just the sound of his mouth. What mouth? It was like, and I'm like, oh
yeah. Oh yeah, it was great.
And that was a dope thing too, because Inhumans did terribly as a show.
Oh, I didn't even know they had a show.
Yeah. That's how bad it was. Like they had that same guy who played Black Bolt, but he just had like a leather outfit. He didn't have the full on the outfit
tuning fork helmet.
Yeah. Man, I don't care. Like some outfits like don't make sense, but that was a dope outfit, especially when you see it like in live action. That's the one thing I hate about sometimes when you do costumes in like live action. They won't go full on like costume.
Well, Wolverine's only getting his real costume in Deadpool 3 now.
I was just about to go to that. I'm like, if they don't put the mask on, if they don't put the mask on in the new Deadpool and Wolverine movie, I will not forgive it. Like come on, Hugh. I need you in the mask, man. I need this. This is something I need. You know, I need like a fiend. I need it. I want some crack. I need it. Like just give it to us, all right? We need full on Hugh Jackman Wolverine in the mask and in the costume. Like sometimes it don't look right. It looks kind of crazy. But I feel like they just try and give it to us. This is why Spider-Man 3 wasn't good to me. Because Spider-Man 3, they just gave you like the black suit, but it wasn't the Venom suit. It was just like the black version.
They did way too much with that movie too. Yeah, it was. You can't have 3 bad guys. It's a little too many.
That's too many, dude. You can never have too many. Like the best one, what they did with Tobey Maguire, not Tobey Maguire.
Andrew Garfield?
No.
Tom Holland.
There you go. Tom Holland's one where they did basically like a Sinister Six like thing, but bring other people from the past. And you have 3 Spider-Mans. And basically like a Sinister Six.
You gotta, for every bad guy, you gotta have a hero to. You can't You can't do a 3-on-1.
It makes no sense how Spider-Man can beat 6 people.
Yeah, that was a bit much.
Come on now, that's not But usually how Spider-Man beats them, he has a few people turn on each other and they start internal fighting, and then he just starts kicks them, and then like kind of and that's how you beat the Sinister Six. You can't take him on full force because he usually gets captured. Like I remember in the cartoon, Spider-Man got captured, and then they took his mask off, and it was like, he's just a child, he's just a kid, and I was just like, this man is a grown man in college. What are you talking about? And then he was like, he's like, I'm not the actual Spider-Man. I was like, I was just dressing up as him. He was like, aren't you the one taking his pictures? I was like, yeah. So then he was like, well, do something. And he was like, crawl. He was like, I can't crawl on walls. So it kind of worked. But then they was like, okay, so we got your Aunt May. So we're going to hold Aunt May until the real Spider-Man shows up. And because he was losing his powers at the same time, he was like, okay, we'll figure something out. And he was like, Spider-Man, don't come. What are you doing? They knocked him off, and then he falls, stuff like that. And then as he's falling, like he gets his powers back, so he comes up and kicks him. He was like, thank you, Parker. You told the real Spider-Man where we are. Like all this. And so it was like a super funny little thing. But yeah, man, I'm a huge Spider-Man nerd, and I love movies to death. It is, like, I can't wait for that Deadpool and Wolverine. And I feel like all the homies in like a few different group chats I am in, like Facebook, they was like, Marvel needs this win because this is the only Marvel movie coming out this year. Like I watched Ant-Man, Quantumania with Kang, Jonathan Majors, no long Kang. So like they're trying to rework stuff, and I'm just like, Marvel needs this. And I hope it's good because the writer strike and the actor strike both happened, but then somehow Deadpool's movie got finished with like a month and a half, and I'm just like, how? Like I feel like this is rushed, but they moved it back only from, I think from May to like July. And I'm just like, I would have moved it in the fall or August or something like that. So I hope this movie is super good. I'm going to go see it first day it comes out. But I just hope Hope it's good. Like, I just hope it's good. And I hope I get that damn Wolverine with the claws and the mask on. I need that. I need that. Did you ever see X-Men Apocalypse?
No, I'll be honest. The X-Men was never something that I watched very much of.
Really? Okay, so I'll just tell you this.
Too many reboots for me.
Yeah. They kind of kept messing up. And funny, the X-Men movies are only good for 2 movies. The third movie just goes off the complete rails. Like, it was X-Men 1, X-Men 2, and then amazing. X-Men 3, United We Stand, trash because it was supposed to be the Phoenix thing, but instead of doing Phoenix, they was going with the thing that's the cure for mutants. And I'm just like, no, this is supposed to be about the Phoenix, not the cure. Like, that could have been the 4th movie.
I don't think I've seen any of those movies all the way through. Yeah. I've seen pieces of most of them.
Yeah.
Did you ever see Brightburn? It was like the evil Superman. Evil Superman.
Yeah.
I think if they did a Brightburn version of Spider-Man, it would have been awesome. Because I'm saying Spider-Man's a very creepy character if he's not framed as the hero.
Yeah.
Imagine a 1950s detective is hunting down a serial killer, and they can't explain how he's able to kill everybody, and it turns out this guy is a Spider-Man, but not just like he is turning into a spider.
Yeah.
Like, I think that'd be awesome. And you don't see him till the end, but you see a guy climbing on walls, you see a guy jumping down, almost like how Batman like sneak attacks people. I think that'd be awesome as shit. And he's got like 8 eyes, and his mouth's starting to like turn open. Like, he's like mostly humanoid at this point, but he's a guy who is slowly turning into a spider.
What you do is, because Spider-Man in the cartoon series, he turns into a spider. It's like, because the mutation turns him into like a thing where he goes from just having like 2 arms to having 6.
Right, I've seen that.
And then so then he's like fighting people, and it was like, how the heck you can? So he like fighting Doc Ock, and he was just like. And then all of a sudden he just like rips out his extra arm, stuff like that. So Doc Ock doesn't have the advantage no more. But then he's just like fighting him, and he's like, oh. And then all of a sudden he just turns into like the Spider-Man creature from the mutation from the bite. And yeah, I feel like that would be like a dark version that they could do with Marvel too. But I feel like they won't, because also
it would have to be when the rights become public.
Yeah.
But I just thought, I've always looked at Spider-Man and be like, you have to frame him as a hero so he doesn't seem creepy. Yeah. He has to be in blue and red, so because look at these black Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And you shoot it only at night.
Yeah.
That's a scary character.
Venom, very much so, the Venom character, definitely. Like, Venom always was like the stronger, more ruthless version of Spider-Man. And then Carnage was like a spinoff of Venom, who was like not only just as strong as him, but is legally, just psychopath, because he was found in a psych ward. Because
he gets taken over by the serial killer, right?
Yeah.
Cletus Cassidy.
Yeah. So it was like the symbiote, like, kind of had like a little spawn, and then the spawn bonded with Cletus Cassidy, who's literally in an insane asylum. He's just like, and then Venom becomes good for a second because he has to fight off this other dude who's like who's crazy, is just as strong as him, but is crazier and is relentless. And like, at least Venom has some other conscience because he has a girl. He's like and then he pushed like, so more sane in that standpoint. But yeah, and they messed up Venom 2. Like, Venom 2 was about Carnage, and it was just like, oh, we didn't want to make it super long. We wanted to make it like a super wild ride. And I'm just like, yeah, but there's no substance to this. Like, Eddie and Venom, like, I felt like that should have been the 3rd movie, because it was Eddie and the symbiote like not eating heads and stuff like that. So like Venom struggling, and then like Venom leaves Eddie behind and stuff. That's usually 3rd movie type stuff, like where I need you, I'm dying, like, we've been doing this for so long, but I need the attachment to you because I can't live without you. And I'm like, that's 3rd movie type stuff. That's not 2nd movie type stuff. And like Carnage comes in, has like these huge eyes, all this kind of stuff, and I'm just like, this is cool, but this ain't really shot right. And I was like, I'm like, what are we doing here? What is this?
It's hard to make a Venom movie without Spider-Man.
That too.
I get that Sony's trying to keep their franchise alive
and keep the rights.
But yeah, I mean, it's a movie that's like threatened or set up to fail.
Oh, have you seen Madam Web?
No, I heard it was really bad.
So bad.
I kind of want to see it because I hear it's so bad.
It's one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
That's incredible.
It's one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
Even with Sydney Sweeney in it?
Huh?
Even with Sydney Sweeney in it?
Yeah, because she's like being like very like reserved in it. It's like, we should listen. We should kind of, So yeah, I'm mad because it's one of those movies where you see everything's in the trailer. all the good parts.
That's what I heard.
It's in the trailer. Like I'm super mad. Like I'm like, there's no way they won't give us these 3 girls in their Spider-Man costumes. That's what I'm going for. I know they're gonna figure out a way to give us them in their costumes throughout the movie. Nope. You see that part in the first 5 minutes, right? And then you see it in the last 2. In between that, bunch of nothingness going on, a bunch of stupid stuff, bunch of just dumbness going on throughout the entire time. At one point, they're supposed to be laying low. They go to this diner and like teenage girls are like dancing on top of like. I'm like, you supposed to be laying low because somebody's trying to kill you, and you gonna dance with some boys. I'm just like, this makes no sense. And then also, they do this weird power thing at the end, and Madam Web gets this like connection. She's like, he pushes 3 people off. It's like you can't save all 3, so she kind of unlocks this weird Madam Web thing where she can somehow go outside of her consciousness and save all 3. And you're like, what? Then somehow she hurts herself, right? Now she's blind and in a wheelchair, but she only hurts herself so she can't see. But now she's in a wheelchair too. So I'm like, where? I know you got blinded because the sparks hit your eyes, but why are you in a wheelchair? You can still walk around. Like, it made no sense. And I was just like,
I heard it was horrible.
Horrible. And then the worst part, the villain, whatever sound they use for, like, you know how you go and like re-record stuff, all that audio was off.
Oh, the ADR.
So the ADR was off the entire time. And I'm like, is this 2 seconds behind? Literally like a second and a half, 2 seconds behind. Anything he said. And it just sound out of place. Seemed like he was like talking here, but it was over there. Like he was talking here, and then like you would hear like, yeah, we're gonna do that. Like the entire movie. And you're like, y'all didn't watch this? Terrible. The suits was dope. In the first 5 minutes we saw them. No idea how they got him. No idea what spider bit him. None of that. None of it. And then at the end, they show up in the costumes again, like, we'll be ready. Bitch, how'd y'all, what? Just, and then the movie set in like 2002 or something like, no, it's set in like 2002 or something like that, right? It's supposed to be like early 2000s based movie or early 90s based movie, right? So basically like when so this is supposed to be like centered towards Tom Holland in a sense, but I think it was supposed to be centered towards the Peter Parker we got in the 2000s, like it's just weird. It was like, why does this take? And then like Uncle Ben's supposed to be in it, but he's supposed to be like a young guy, and it's just like, oh, this is dumb. It's just like, what? Like this makes no sense at all.
Yeah, I don't know. Like the Spider-Verse is cool. Yeah. I think the animated version has been the best one.
Amazing.
Yeah,
best one so far.
A lot more freedom, but again, they have a strong story structure. Yeah. They're not bringing in all these spider people just for the sake of it.
I mean, the second one, Into the Spider-Verse, they brought all these spider, but it was done so well.
Yeah, well, it was to show that there's like a whole network of them. It wasn't like now we're gonna go off and just follow Penny Parker for 45 minutes.
Exactly.
Like, dude, I don't care.
I don't care at all. I don't care.
It's the same thing. Pirates of the Caribbean made that mistake by having movies that starred Jack Sparrow. Jack Sparrow is a good secondary character like Han Solo. Yeah. They should never have their own movie. What makes them interesting is you only see them just enough that they stay interesting. Once you start digging into why they're cool, it stops being cool. Your main character, your main character should be kind of boring. Yeah, and they should have like Luke Skywalker is not as cool as Han Solo. Will Turner is not as cool as Captain Jack Sparrow, but you can't give them too much screen time where you ruin their mystique.
I think that they made the mistake with like what Pirates of the Caribbean 4, right? Where it was supposed to be like it was like him and like Penelope. It's like something. Yeah,
they started just getting wacky with it. When it's like the whole story is about a dude trying to find his dad. That's what works. And you got your crazy drunk friend who's trying to help you find your dad.
Got you.
Just stay in that box.
Very much so, because it's like 3 people. It's like I'm trying to find my dad. This is my love, and I'm a kid. And your drunk friend keeps flirting with the love of your life, stuff like that. She might even kiss him once, stuff like that. And it's like, oh, you tricked you, that kind of a thing. Yeah. And then they got rid of those 2, and then in the 4th one, it was like Penelope Cruz is gonna be like the other main thing. And I was like, this is boring and long.
Yeah.
But it made a lot of money, though, even though it was the worst one. The 4th one was the worst one but it made a lot of money. And I'm just like,
and it's funny because again, you can make a bad movie make a lot of money.
Yeah,
because again, his character was so good. There was so much buy-in for the first couple movies. Yeah, because there was that whole subplot with him trying to unite all the pirate people together. It's like, don't care.
Yeah, don't care. When he's like, oh, I'm gonna go down, like, kind of help it. So and I mean, it's kind of like the Transformers movies, who make a ton of money, but they spend too much time on the people. The movie is called Transformers, not Shia LaBeouf and Megan Fox. That's why the third movie was trash, because it was like Shia LaBeouf like lost Megan Fox, and so he's like, and then I was just like, what? Like, I don't like, you just find another hot girl and you think that's the main focus? No.
Well, and also it's like once Sam Witwicky becomes acclimatized to the Transformers, it's not cool. The whole thing is that it's new to him too.
Yeah,
you're enjoying him being like, what the heck is happening? But the third was like, there's Bumblebee, there's this. Oh, we gotta go kill Decepticons.
I'm trying to be like I'm supposed to have a real job and stuff like that. They don't care about that. No. Or the Dino ones where it was supposed to be like Dino. Like,
I didn't even watch those.
Man, so I watched it because my homie told me, he was like, this movie is BS. He's like, they don't show the dinosaur ones until like the last 15 minutes, and they don't. The movie was 2 hours and 30 minutes, right? I remember they went down, captured the Autobots, go up into space, right? And then they're flying off into space, and then somehow they make their way out of space. So, like, they destroy his ship, and they get off, and they go back down to Earth. That took 50 minutes to do that part. And I was like, if they didn't do this part, this movie will be probably an hour and 49 minutes. Just a waste of stuff that made no sense. I'm like, so this whole alien robot goes and picks him up, and I was like, what was the point of this? And then when they come back to Earth, then it was like, it just picks up where he left off an hour ago, and it just continues the story. And I'm like, that whole subplot should have been taken out. They made no sense at all. And then the movie comes in 2 hours, 35 minutes. And then you see all of a sudden they finally Transformers Age of Extinction. And they finally find like the other ones. And then like one of them tries to attack Optimus. He fights one off. Then he rides the other one. And then he rides into battle and fights the alien who comes back and stuff like that. And then he defeats the alien. And then the alien runs off into space. And then in the movie, dope pose Transformers 4. I'm just like, and that movie made like $800 million.
Yeah, well, spectacle has really become more important than story structure, which is weird because all of these franchises do well because they have a strong story structure for the first three movies, and then they get to ride off that for another three more.
Yeah,
I know we're over an hour, so I do want to get wrapped up, but I do want to know which Batman is your favorite so far.
Come on now, Michael Keaton, man.
Okay, that's your guy.
Michael Keaton is my go-to from the stamp, but Christian Bale, I love him too. I hated Ben Affleck with a passion. I never liked it. I never liked Batfleck. I never liked none of that stuff. I didn't like Batman vs Superman because I remember he didn't want to be in it. I remember there was I posted in 2013 the two people who was coming down to. It was supposed to be Ryan Gosling or the guy who played Thanos.
Josh Brolin.
Josh Brolin, right? And I was
Josh Brolin would have been a good shot.
Amazing. He had just did the Men in Black 3 movie with I was like, oh, older grimsick guy. Face is kind of beat up, black hair, kind of stoic and stuff. Perfect fit, right? They want Ben Affleck. And I was like, I remember I posted in 2013, I was like, these are the type of decisions that sinks a franchise where you're going to have to reboot years later, right? And I remember I was in LA, coming back on a bus on a Greyhound from LA, and they announced it. I was like, bro, this is trash. And literally years later, Ben Affleck didn't want to do it. He got upset if people kept asking for him, right? It's also when WB wasn't like having strong scripts, stuff like that, and just it didn't make no sense. And he was upset that the movie was getting terrible reviews, but then it made a lot of money. So like, okay, well, cool. Hated that version. People always hold on to this, the warehouse scene where he like beat up a bunch of people. It was like that's the Batman. I'm like, yeah, but everything else made no sense. Zack Snyder couldn't do it. Sorry for the passing of his daughter, but I felt like Zack Snyder should have just focused on Superman. It made no sense. He built a whole world, but Superman got one movie. And then we got introduced to Batman versus Superman, the second movie of the universe. Didn't know who this Batman was. We saw Robin summons with his suit. Didn't know what happened. Like he's been doing it. Like you needed like a synopsis.
It was made for people who know who Batman is, which is not the best way to do that.
Yeah. It should have been Christian Bale in that role. Because then, okay, we have 3 movies. now Christian Bale, but I heard he didn't want to come back for it.
And he wouldn't come back if there was a Robin.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
Oh, that's crazy. Well, then that way you just like, and also you needed a storyline. You needed a quick flashback. Like, cause I felt like a quick flashback of like, damn, we lost Robin, and it's like that's like haunting me and things like that. Like it didn't make sense from that standpoint of like, that's Robin's suit, but then it doesn't. Ha ha ha! Jokes on you, Batman.
Well, so the Easter egg with that is you'll notice that Robin suit has fish hooks in the shoulders, and Jared Leto's Joker has scars there.
Yeah.
So presumably that Joker, Jared Leto's Joker, was Jason Todd. So that's not the original Joker of that universe.
Yeah, I've heard that, but then I've also heard like other stuff where like it just wasn't a good story developed. Like I heard there was a rumor that in Batman vs Superman, because we got Lex Luthor, right? But he was like super weird, super cool. I'm like, that's not Lex. Lex is bald. Lex is very sure of himself. There was a rumor, but it wasn't confirmed that Lex Luthor initially was supposed to be the Riddler. And I'm like, and it makes a lot more sense. He's weird. He's giving these speeches. He's kind of like, then also he's young. Lex Luthor was never young. He was an adult compared to these other two dudes. That's why he has like the long hair wig. I'm like, it is made a lot more sense. And it seemed like it got changed like last minute on the cutting room floor. Cause I'm just like, yeah, why does this weird dude have like it's like they made him like a Mark Zuckerberg. I was like, no, dude, that's not even, no, it didn't make no sense. But once I heard the Riddler was supposed to be the Riddler, it just clicked. And I'm like, that makes a lot more sense. And it makes the story a lot better. And then like, you could have probably came back later, but like, y'all really thought this was me? The Riddler like pat me on some kind of thing. And no, this is the Riddler. This is not me. Y'all shaved him head bald because you thought it was no. Because he was like, my parents died. It made no sense at all. And I was pissed because Batman vs Superman got pushed back 10 months to get it right. It's supposed to come back it's supposed to come out summer of 2015. It got pushed back to 2016. And they still got it all wrong. And I'm just like, yo, come on now.
It's got to be something with the studios that rushes these things.
Yeah. But it's in James Gunn's hand now, and I have a lot of faith in him, and it's going to be great. So, yeah, I can't wait to see. Also, I was surprised by the new Batman, with the guy from Twilight.
I like that one a lot.
That one was good. Even though it had 4 endings.
Yes.
But that was because of COVID. So they had to a bunch of stuff like that. But yeah, we're going to get off with that. We could talk about this all day, but we got to get up out of here. Hey, did you get your hour of Corde or hour and 15 with Corde this week? This has been the Corde Snell Show. Make sure you email us at thecordesnellshow@gmail.com. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Also, if you like this video, please hit the like, please hit the subscribe button, please comment below and listen to more of the Corde Snell Show. Thank you for listening, and we're out.